buildings. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you for a little tour of the grounds. You've seen bits as we've gone along, but I'm going to take you down to the Lake Arbour, which is another option for ceremonies. It's also where we do our intimate wedding ceremonies. It's a little bit of a walk. You can fast forward if you want. I hope this video is okay. I've not got a huge amount of practice doing this sort of thing. I would show you what I look like, but I don't know how to do that. Oh, best not then. So I'm just popping back towards the direction we came in. You can really hear the river today. That's because there's no leaves on the trees. I'll go down there now. It's the arbour again, obviously. Looks very different with the leaves on. So I'm coming down and I'm going to follow the signs for the woodland walk. We have a wood-fired hot tub there on the left. I should have turned round and shown you the front of the red brick barn. Actually, I'm just going to go back up and do that. Sorry. Bear with me. Ooh. So there we have the front of the red brick barn. Okay, so let's carry on where we were going. What I'll do when I post this is I'll post approximate timing so you can just watch the bits you want to. So coming along again, past the hot tub. So we do have a small lake down here, so we've got gates to make sure that the sites, small children can't wander down there by themselves. Again, I should have showed you behind me, but that's where we've come from. Sorry, I'll try and be a bit better at looking, not just where we're going, but where we've been. So we're going to come down a few steps here. Oh, and this is where we have our bluebells in the spring. But maybe this year no one will get the chance to have a photograph taken there, but they'll be back. Just heading along towards what we call the viewing point. Oop. And we have a lot of wildlife. Oh, oh hello, pigeon. So we're just, oops, there's a lot of rabbits here, so let me watch my footing. So this is just us up at the viewing point. And that's just looking out over the village of Rillamille, which we're very close to, although our postal address is Upton Cross. It's spring really is springing all around us. Everything's starting to be on the move. Okay, so let's head back along the woodland path and we'll go down to the lake. So just while we walk down here, I'll just mention a little bit about outdoor ceremonies. So at the moment, the law in England and Wales means that you can only get married outdoors if you have a fixed structure above your head. So that's why we have these little arbours. And the registrars really have the final decision about whether it can be indoors or outdoors. So we're very lucky here that we have 2 indoor locations as well as 2 outdoors. And we can make a decision about that. Really right up till, the morning of the wedding. I'm just coming down to through the woodland walk. Let me just show you where we've come from. See, I'm getting better at this. Oh, here's Mike. Mike does lots of different jobs at the greens, so you're bound to come across him doing something. I'm not sure what he's doing down here. Hi Mike. Just look back up there at the arbour actually. So we've dropped down, you can see we're right on the edge of this valley and this path basically zigzags down. Quite large grounds, as you're probably getting the picture. And this arbour, one of the considerations of the lake arbour is it's not quite as accessible as the other one, but you can drop off by car, but it is really beautiful, so it's a trade-off, I guess. So let me just, that's where we're heading, and that's where we've come from. That's a meadow in front of the car park. We are pet friendly as well, so if you do bring a pet, that's where you can exercise them. We're just coming down to the lake, you can really hear the river now. So this is the lake harbour. That's the arbour itself. Remember I was talking about having the fixed structure above your head. And there's the little lake. And that's just looking back up, and so it's lovely down here. I mean, I'll just do a little bit of a 360 so you can see the whole sort of, I won't go too fast to make you feel seasick, the whole sort of, and again there's just a gate there to stop young children getting down here by themselves. So I'm going to go down to the little arbour itself. So it's what time of day is it? So it's about 1:20 in late March, and this is how it looks. There's the river. So this little tributary goes into the liner. And this is quite interesting, this little shed down there, I don't know if you can see it, that's the old ram house. So that would have had hydraulic rams that would have taken the water up to the farm, and we used it to rehouse our bats when we converted some of the barns. So that's the bat house. And I'm just going to walk across, there's like a little pond on one side and a little lake on the other side. And then you can walk over between them. Oh, loads of frog spawn. It's definitely spring. Okay. I have seen a kingfisher here. I think we'd be very lucky to see it today when I'm looking for it. Okay, I'm gonna carry on. So not long to go. I'm just going to take you back up across the meadow and then back to where we started. Oh, and this is quite interesting. It's a bit overgrown, but this is the butterwell. So back in the day, there would be water flowing through that, and that's where they would have put the dairy products to keep them cool. This really is pretty. Looking over at the arbour again. This is the cherry blossom tree getting ready to do its thing. So what we do with this meadow is we leave it the grass quite long, and then we cut a path through. This really is not that interesting. I'm not sure my video editing skills are going to allow me to do much about that. It's back up towards the buildings and then back down towards Rilla Mill and the lake. There we go, all the buildings just clustered there, nestled in. Back down towards the lake. It's quite steep actually. Oh, I'll just pop over to the orchard for completeness. So I'm just heading over towards the orchard. Little children's play area in there. This orchard was planted in the year 2000, and it's got lots of local varieties. Although I have to confess we've lost the list, so we don't really know what's what, but they're nice, all of them. Okay. Children's play area. This is the main car park. We've got an overflow car park as well, so we've got loads of parking. And like I said earlier, we try and keep the car park free. We try and keep the site car free. So cars just park in the car park and drive in to drop off and pick up. And we take all deliveries around the back. So this is where you'd come in. Every time I walk past the hedgerow, something moves. Oh, I should show you where we've come from again. I'm not very good. There we go. I hope none of our videographers watch this. So there we are, we're kind of back where we started really. I hope that was helpful. What I'll do, like I said, I'll pop it on the website and I'll pop some timing, so if there's certain parts you're more interested in than others, you can watch them. I really don't know how to flip it around and say hello, but I can learn that another time. So my name's Moira. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope that's helpful. And if you've got any questions at all, just drop us an email to relax@thegreencornwall.co.uk, and we'd be only too happy to help. Many thanks.